Leone's ability to depict the horrible dirt of grindhouse horror when the brutality is pushed to the limit is truly amazing. It toes the line between being insanely amusing and horrifyingly gory. As soon as he gets going, Art the Clown transforms into a relentless monster unlike anything you've ever seen. The movie's success among the general public is rather amazing, given that films with this much blood and guts are rarely seen in theaters, much less for 4 weeks as an independent box office hit, but Terrifier 2 has defied the odds. Terrifier mostly served as Art's stage for menacingly punishing anyone who would stand in his way. Terrifier 2 is a superior film. It introduces people worth following and expands Leone's twisted imagination to unfathomable heights. The murderous clown has a longer backstory than what we're told, and it all begins with a final girl. The people who died at the hands of Art, David Howard Thornton, in Terrifier, are essentially a line of meat sacks ready to be butchered, but Sienna, played by Lauren Lavera, injects new life into the narrative. She's working on a Halloween costume that mimics the illustration of a winged warrior princess that her late father drew in one of his sketchbooks when we first meet her. It seems to be the only constant in her life as Sienna is always torn between her temper-prone mother, Barbara, and her imaginative younger brother, Jonathan, Elliot Fulham, Sarah Voigt. She is adamant about finishing this costume in time for the Halloween celebration, even after the wings catch fire. But wherever Sienna goes, whether in her nightmares or during a highly awkward encounter at the costume shop, Art's presence follows her. She can even make out the little pale girl, Art's little partner in misery, who is just as silently cruel as her adult clown counterpart. The demonic couple can only be seen by Jonathan and one other person. What does it all imply, though? The intricate webs of Sienna's family tree strongly suggest that she and Art are related in some way. Terrifier 2 manages to raise more questions than ever before, despite its lengthy running duration. However, this time around, Leone deftly scatters subtle hints about Sienna's earlier family life across the movie. We are informed throughout the first half that Sienna's father passed away due to a brain tumor. Along with sketches of Art, also known as the Miles County Killer, he also leaves behind a sketchbook filled with articles on the killings he committed. While Sienna's father did have a brain tumor, the manner in which he passed away portrays a completely different picture than the one we have been led to believe, thanks to her molly-spiking friend Brooke, Kylie Hyman. He had been experiencing unexplainable visions that made him violent toward his family. In his last moments, Sienna's father drank the entire bottle of Jack Daniels, slammed into a post, and then set his car on fire, killing himself. Given that we never truly see Art in his human form, it is possible that he is Sienna's father or at the very least a demonic extension of his. Although keeping his name a secret seems strange, given that he plays a significant supporting role in the tale, it appears like Leone is laying the basis for a sequel that will expand on this. Consider the Clown Cafe dream sequence, which provides more information about how Sienna was probably handled as a youngster. In the opening scenes of Terrifier 2, Sienna nods off while viewing an advertisement for a restaurant called the Clown Cafe. Visions of Art may not be the most terrifying curse, but rather that ridiculously catchy song that I can't seem to get out of my brain. Sienna awakens in overalls and pigtails a la Pippi Longstocking, having joined the world of the commercial. She is the only one who appears to be extremely afraid by Art's presence, despite the fact that everyone else in the dreamscape is extremely pleased to see him show up. Even the small child eating the dangerous cereal made of glass, razor blades, and insects has an uncanny resemblance to a younger Jonathan. Despite the fact that she may not be aware of what is happening, it is difficult to interpret the panic on her face as anything other than a subliminal fear of childhood abuse at the hands of her father. Even worse, Art gives Sienna a package containing a beating heart that has been infested by maggots. I'm not sure what else will indicate that there is a bigger familial link involved if that. As a result of Sienna's actions in the dream world influencing what occurs in the real world, the subsequent scene functions as the best Nightmare on Elm Street film in decades. In the dream, Art slaughters everyone with a vengeance, mimicking the silent killer who murders her pals throughout the movie. The Clown Cafe is a fantastic illustration of a director playing about, but the amusement park chase is where Leone really lets loose. Everyone probably assumed that Art was merely being described as a terrifying monster when the title Terrifier appeared. But it's not until the climax of Terrifier 2 that we find out that it actually refers to a sizable haunted house called the Terrifier. Even the little pale girl is based on Emily, a youngster who vanished inside the attraction many years ago. They probably could have made an entire movie in this space alone because the set is so elaborate. Of course, this is the scene of Sienna and Art's last confrontation. Jonathan is convinced that Sienna is the warrior princess depicted in their father's sketchbook. According to prophecy, she will put the clown to pasture. As she protects Jonathan from Art's hook whips before striking back with a vengeance, Sienna even goes so far as to transform into a real-life guardian angel. There are numerous possible outcomes in Terrifier 2, but the eventual resolution features Art stabbing Sienna with the sword her father gave her. It comes to life, bringing her clown cafe purgatory back to life. In a really cathartic scene, Sienna ultimately cuts off Art's head with her father's sword. The little pale girl takes the clown's melon and leaves into the night. The war against evil has been won by Sienna, but for how long? The post-credits scene further complicates the family connection to Art, which raises too many unanswered concerns. At the beginning of the first Terrifier, Samantha Scaffidi's character Vicky viciously attacked Katie Maguire's character Monica Brown, the host of a television talk show. All indications point to Vicky being in Art's control as she continues to write derogatory words on the wall of her asylum room while gushing blood. When a nurse checks on the victim, she discovers that she has given birth to Art the clown's head. I'm not sure how this relates to the family connection or how it explains Art's capacity to resurrect himself in the most obscene way from the afterlife, but as is to be expected, slasher villains like Art are hard to kill. It seems like the conclusion to his epic slasher is just a start of all the crazy ideas he has in store for subsequent installments, even though I don't think Leone had the family dynamic of Terrifier 2 in mind when he was writing the first movie.